San Francisco. Wow, did I read a weird report this morning? Tell me why I saw on my timeline the Golden State Warriors are targeting a playmaking wing. I said, what? Golden State wants a playmaking wing when they just traded for Jimmy Butler? That don't make sense. I was like, okay, Golden State, that's an odd request. Like, that's an odd thing you want to prioritize this off season. And then I thought about it and I said, what are some playmaking wings that are available or that they can even acquire? And then that conversation turned into how many playmaking wings are in the NBA? There's Tatum, Braun, Franz, Scotty, Brandon Ingram, maybe Jalen Brown. I'm scrolling through the league and there's not that many options. And then to list the options that are available, not many, at least not none that I can think of that are wings that play make. Like, if we're sticking to that specific mantra, I don't see any of those in the landscape. I was surprised when I read that. I thought surely they prioritize a big. Don't get me wrong, Quentin Post played pretty good as a rookie. Trace Jackson Davis is just kind of whatever. Looney, he's probably not gonna get another contract by them this offseason. I thought they go big because we saw the toll of 82 games of center play did to Draymond. He was exhausted when it got to the playoffs. And you could say, they can just get like a placeholder big, to play the 82, and then when it comes to the playoffs, put Draymond at the 5 like full time. And I don't know about that because I don't know if you saw Draymond speaking in these interviews. His beard is full of gray, and he's going into next year. Like, that's not a whole nother year of basketball added to his body. I don't think he'll be able to do that for a full playoff series, full time at the 5, let alone a whole playoff run. So that is concerning. That if they believe in Draymond Green that much, who am I to say? He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, so really can't blame him for thinking that. So that's that. But I saw some conversations and the Twitters, comments and things of that nature, and it made me think about Jimmy Butler, man. Man, were some of y'all wrong about Jimmy? A lot of people thought, hey, Jimmy's coming to Golden State. He's gonna play like playoff Jimmy, where he was breaking records and stuff, dropping 55 points in the playoffs. And I told everybody, whoa. Are you sure Jimmy Butler is still that same player? Because that was, 2022? That was 3 years ago now. He's like, 36, 34, 35, somewhere in that age range. I'm not too sure. I don't think he's that same player, let alone wants to be that player. He was only doing those things out of necessity. And after Steph Curry went down in this series against the Timberwolves, I don't even think he can. He showed a weird lack of aggression. He really didn't want to take that many shot attempts that I think we all thought he should. Like, if Curry's out, Butler, we need you to take 20 to 30 shots a game. And maybe in Butler's point of view, that's a little too much to ask. He wanted to play more of a role player role, like a co-star, not really, take over a game. But if Steph Curry's out, man, you have to be that lead guy. And he wasn't, which is concerning. Because if he could have, I think he would have. Therefore, meaning I don't think he can do that anymore. So that is a tad. I would be concerned if I was a Warriors fan. Shit, I'm not a Warriors fan, and I'm concerned for them about that. But regardless of that, they do need to figure out what they're going to do with their young players on the roster. I don't know why they did this because Jonathan Kaminga is young, but the Jonathan Kamingas of the world, Moses Moody, AirPods did play a lot better after having an abysmal start to the season. Though it did come out he was experiencing dizzy spells and stuff, which is crazy. I couldn't even imagine trying to play basketball dizzy. Oh, just thinking about it makes my head hurt. But it's practically confirmed Jonathan Kaminga's getting moved and a signing trade this offseason. Um, Moses Moody was hella inconsistent, understandably so. He's a 3 point shooter, and shooters need to have rhythm in order to consistently hit shots. And giving him inconsistent minutes, spot minutes. Steve Kerr always trying some new form of lineup in the playoffs was it's you can imagine how hard it is as a shooter to catch a rhythm. So I feel for Moses Moody, but even then, you know, this team needs a little bit of a lot. They do need a playmaking wing, uh, and honestly, I feel their defense might fall off a considerable amount next season, because their season was primarily kept elite due to Draymond, and I just don't foresee everyone having these graceful descents to like retirement like how Braun is going to have, how Curry is looking, KD is looking. I feel like we're starting to hold everyone to that standard that they're just going to be great until they're going to retire great. And I think we've been shown signs of from players that were great that may not be the case. Jimmy Butler is one of those cases who's on this very team. He's been like he hasn't really had a graceful descent. I feel like his regression has been like kind of prominent. Like it's very noticeable, and I think a lot of people just chalked it up to, oh man, he just wanted to get out of Miami, man, or he just didn't want to play in Miami, whatever the case may be. But I think he was genuinely that's just he's just not the same player he once was. We see it across if we go to the Eastern Conference, we've seen it with Drew Holiday. He's just flat out just worse. He's just worse, and that comes with age. Brooke Lopez, Chris Middleton, we're seeing a lot of good players just regress like that, and it's okay because they're in their 30s. I feel like NBA fans have been spoiled by Braun, KD, and Curry to expect, hey, all these good players, they're going to stay good till they retire, and I don't think that's the case. And for Draymond, who does so much for this team defensively, for him to take all that burden on an aging body, I just don't think he'll have the same level of impact as last season. So if I'm a Warriors fan, I would be concerned about, hey, let's just leave the defensive part to Draymond and leave the offense to Curry, and then just get whatever the hell we can to just help them out with both sides. And I don't think that's necessarily the way to go, but it's not necessarily like they have better options. There's not really much else they could do. They waited too long to do a JK trade. JK just doesn't fit in this team. Like that style of basketball he doesn't play doesn't fit this team system. He holds the ball entirely way too long. He's kind of like reminds me of Julius Randle back when he was like the prime like the guy in New York. Like if the ball touched his hands, it was like a black hole. Like he wasn't swinging that out. And on a team where the offense is supposed to flow and mesh together, to the whole point of the offense is set off ball screens, do these intelligent split actions, things of that nature to get Curry open, which he will be open some way, somehow. Get him that ball, he's going to shoot a three, and you live with the results. But it's just when JK's in this system, it's kind of like, get out of my way, Curry. Da, da, da. And not saying that's necessarily a bad way to play, but just doesn't fit what Steve Kerr envisions for a team with Steph Curry on it. So I'd be concerned with the return you're going to get back, because I don't see teams really giving you a ransom for Jonathan Kaminga. And AirPods, I doubt he's gonna be shopped after how well he played, because I mean, there's not really much better options at the guard position to upgrade over Pods. Um, they really need to find a new big. They need a starting caliber big, like a solidified. Because playing, drafting a rookie first or second round, and then just saying, hey, you're just gonna go start, and they're gonna, sure they're gonna put up stat sheet point, like they're gonna fill up the stat sheet. Because I hope an NBA big would get boards. But I mean, if you look at impact, you could just tell these guys just don't bring impact to the game, like that much positive impact to the game that this team needs. So I'm really excited to see what this front office decides to do, because there's definitely room for improvement, and they definitely have the ability to improve. But by how much is the question? Who knows? For Warriors fans who have any ideas or trade suggestions or whatever the case may be, leave your comment in the comments below. I love y'all. Catch you on the next one.